just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the Advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show live on Thursday, August 28th. We've got football, baby. Big game for Nebraska, Cincinnati at Gayha Field coming up in Kansas City tonight. This is a huge game. We're going to talk a lot about it. We have a full preview for you. And, of course, it's all brought to you by our friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. And it won't cost you a dime to talk to The Advocates. That's right. They have a real live attorney, no matter what time of day or night it is, advocates.com. And I love that they don't ask you to pay them up big money up front. You never reach in your pocket. In fact, you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case, because they know that when you've been in an accident, they know that when you got hit on your motorcycle or your bicycle, or heavens to Betsy, the neighbor's dog attacked your son, like, they know that is an incredibly stressful time. They've been there. They know because they fought that fight. They've won that fight. Get to theadvocates.com, who remind you again, it's Labor Day weekend. A lot of people are taking a long 4-day weekend. If that's you, please be careful. Of course, enjoy your life. Enjoy your travels. But just know there's a lot more people on the streets, the sidewalks, scooters, bicycles, kids, loose soccer balls. Just slow down, be careful, and if the worst happens, make sure you're ready at theadvocates.com. And finally, it is nice to be talking a little football. We get Nebraska and Cincinnati at Gayha Field tonight in the land of the scumbags, Kansas City, Missouri. I am sure there will be lots of cheating and false starts that won't be called in that game. You know, I'm just saying, we'll see how all that plays out. Jake, I do think this is a huge night for Matt Rhule, because I feel like there's a lot of people who point to the fact that Matt Rhule hasn't exactly been scintillating out of the gate at Nebraska. I think in a lot of ways, especially against man coverage, Dylan Raiola struggled last year. He did not develop. Like, I feel like this is the beginning of what is a really important year for Matt Rhule.
Absolutely. And I think that, Nebraska is a program that the Big Ten really needs to perform and grow and get better and become relevant in the national conversation. And I think that, Matt Rhule is a guy who has kind of been on this journey of, pretty good in college, go to the NFL, come back to college, and just haven't really proven yet to be able to be that guy that can go out and actually be a heavy hitter, to be someone that is reliably in the college football playoff, be someone that even is reliably competing for the conference year in and year out. And I understand that, it's not like the guy's 20 years into the job or anything, but I think we're just, to your point, like, we're at that point in the process where Matt Rhule really needs to start moving this program forward. And yeah, I think, Dylan Raiola is the poster child for that process. I think that, there's a lot of things to talk about with his game. Obviously, he's a bigger body quarterback that, needs to strike the balance of staying in the pocket too long and holding the ball too long versus when do you run? Because I think that's something that he, really struggled with last year. And yeah, I think a lot of that pressure comes from the fact that they weren't great last year. There was a lot of man coverage played against them last year. And that's what makes it difficult. So they absolutely need to progress and become a I would say ideally like an 8-9 win team this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that Raiola struggled against man defense last year. I mean, you just look at his game tape and it just jumps off the screen that he is not confident, or I should say he was not confident He was absolutely confident against zone coverage last year, and just in no way, shape, or form was he the same quarterback against against man. I think he only had like a 58% completion percentage against man defenses last year, which is not very good. It's one of the lowest completion percentages in the country against man. So I think all of that to say this is a big night for Nebraska football. It's a national televised game, obviously. Nebraska, though, and this is one of the things I want to point out. Nebraska, if you look at this line right here, 6.5 and 51.5 is not exactly a ringing endorsement against one of the bottom teams in the Big 12. So I'm a little curious to see how much momentum can Nebraska build through this performance tonight, because I would expect them. Now I understand this is not Lincoln, but for all intent and purposes, this is a home game, right? Nebraska and I mean, you're just not that far from Kansas City, and I'm a little surprised. That this is not a better number for Nebraska. I also think, by the way, the Boise game, which kicks off here in about 25 minutes, obviously opponent dependent. South Florida doesn't exactly excite you, but in that game, Boise, I think last I checked before we started the show, is only 5.5. And that game's obviously at Raymond James in Tampa. And that is a long way from the potato fields of Boise. So it's nice to be, you guys, it's nice to be talking football. It's nice to be playing football. And for my money, I think this is one of the most important days for Matt Rhule as a football coach.
Yeah.
Oh boy, see, I should just turn the Cubs game off. Cubs are in San Francisco. That game is tied at 3, and it looks like Armstrong might have injured himself trying to bring a home run back in center field. I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. Look at that Car Wash channel.
Wow.
Utah versus UCLA on Fox Saturday, 9 p.m. You have them winning 120-0.
Wow, man. What a great prediction, dude. I mean, that is one of the most reliable predictions that I have seen on that game yet, man. Really nice work there.
Okay. And I mean, yeah, let's, I mean, 120-0. That'd be a hell of an outcome. That would be a hell of an out. Look at Rock and Rant. Rock and Rant back in the comments section today. Wow, actually here for an afternoon opening. Anyone ever say that female voice intro like casino announcer introducing Sam Rothstein? Let's go. A Sam Rothstein reference on the show. One of the most underrated movies ever. Casino. No, it was not certainly intentional. I can tell you that. And look at that. Car Wash Channel paid us $5 to say 120-0 Utah beats UCLA. I hope you're not a betting man.
Well,
because you should probably keep that $5 if you are, because I don't think Utah's covering the spread on that one. Hero 75 for $10. I'm looking forward to watching my Ohio Bobcats. Okay. I am an alumni. Hopefully they beat Rutgers tonight. That's another game, you guys. Rutgers is 15.5 in Piscataway. Hey, okay. That feels like a huge number to me. Going to get stomped by Ohio State at the shoe later, but at least I'll be there to watch in person. Amen. Yeah. Amen. Let's go Bobcats.
Yeah, Bobcats.
Okay, guys, your prediction on the TCU North Carolina game. Interestingly, what is my prediction on that game? I'm looking at that. Ooh, is that correct?
It's happened.
I am getting text messages. A Chicago Bears friend of mine says, don't look at Schefter's Twitter account. It's over.
Yeah.
See you in 2026. Well, thanks for that. Wow. Oh, wow. Yes, it is happening. Yes, it is happening. Jerry Jones is a failure as an owner. An absolute failure as an owner. I don't know any other way to say this. Micah Parsons has been traded to the Green Bay Packers. And this is Wow. Wow. Micah Parsons gets, and it's what was reported yesterday, $47 million is what Micah Parsons is going to get. I don't want to say this out loud. I love this trade for the Packers.
Yeah.
I think this vaults the Packers beyond the Detroit Lions. And I think, boy, you start looking at this, Parsons and the Packers have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $188 million deal. The contract includes $120 million fully guaranteed at signing and makes Parsons the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Jake, your immediate reaction?
I mean, deserved. I think deserved. I mean, I think the guy is one of the best players in the NFL, and obviously there's a lot of opinion in that, and there are many in that conversation. But the statement about it vaults them past the Lions. I mean, I think that's an interesting conversation. I think the Lions are a team that obviously lost a lot in the coaching ranks with both your coordinators leaving to take head coaching positions. And so there could be some struggles there with new coordinators and new offenses and all that good stuff. Like there could be some issues there. At the same time, Micah, puts you in a spot where if you're the Packers, now it's a situation where you just need to keep your quarterback healthy. You need to play solid football. Don't try to play hero ball. Be smart with it, and you really should be fine because this division is about as wide open as it could possibly get in the NFL. So if you just play good football, you really should be in a good spot here.
Yeah, and there you see the terms of the deal. This is a seismic shift. And, of course, right as we were about to get into how mediocre TCU is. No, I'm kidding. As soon as we were about to get into TCU, Micah Parsons gets traded, and he has written a letter. Thank you, Cowboy Nation, for every cheer, moment, and ounce of love you showed me. Wearing the star has been the honor of my life, Micah Parsons said. He also said, quote, I never wanted this chapter to end, but not everything was in my control. In other words, F you, Jerry. My heart has always been here, and it still is through it all. I never made any demands. I never asked for anything more than fairness. I never asked for anything other than fairness. I only asked that the person I trust to negotiate my contract be part of the process. Is that really what burned the bridge in Dallas? That the fact that you would not allow Micah Parsons' agent to be part of this negotiation, you're telling me that's what ended this relationship. I am amazed. And as I told you yesterday, Packers are sending 2 first-round picks to the Dallas Cowboys. And that's really what the only other thing that we're waiting for on this is what are the exacts on this. And a frontline starting player, a top 22 from the Packers goes to the Cowboys. So 2 first-round picks and a starting player. We talked about that yesterday being the minimum bar. And certainly it appears that is what it is. Let's get your reaction to this because this is a seismic move in the NFL.
I like the definitiveness of the Packers, the ability to say, hey, we want this guy. There's opportunity. We're going to go get this guy. We're going to pull the trigger on this deal. I mean, this is, I think when you're dealing with Jerry Jones and you're in another organization, you kind of have to get after him in the sense that it's got to be like, hey, this is the deal we want to put together. This is the guy we want. This is what we want to do. Let's get it done. And that appears to be what they did here.
Yeah, I love this deal for the Packers, oddly enough, and sadly. I love this deal for the Packers. I think it's exactly what they should have done. Now you're able to compete with the Detroit Lions. And I think with all the unknowns about Detroit's coaching staff and the chemistry on that team, how good is, Aiden Hutchinson going to be coming off of a really severe, significant leg break? Like all of these questions, are going to be asked and answered. And we're going to have, essentially 5 months to figure that out. But at the end of this whole thing, nobody is going to accuse the Packers of not trying to win a Super Bowl right here and now, because that's what this kind of move is. And I think we've seen these moves before in the NFL. We've seen them be wild successes. We've also seen them be incredible failures. But I really like this move out of the Packers. I think there is no doubt now. Yeah, he did. That Micah Parsons got low-end quarterback money. And I am amazed. I am amazed through this whole thing that you're telling me that Jerry Jones lost Micah Parsons, arguably the best defensive player in the NFL, who's been to a Pro Bowl every year, and you lost him because you didn't want to talk to his agent. I don't understand how this is anything but horrifically damaging to the hopes and dreams of Cowboys, their fans, their front office, to signing free agents, because who on earth is going to want to go to a place where the owner won't talk to your agent?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty ridiculous, and it's only one of two things. It's the not wanting to talk to his agent thing is the surface level excuse. You either you either had a personal issue with Micah, or you didn't want to pay him. There's not a lot of reasons as to why you wouldn't want to deal with his agent. And listen, I understand that David Mulugeta is one of the most prolific agents in the NFL. There's no question about that. Very good at what he does, paid highly for a reason. But I just think that at some point, if you're Jerry Jones, you're going to have to be honest about what exactly it is that you're doing, because just like I said yesterday, I very much have shifted into the camp that this guy is just after attention. And again, I it's just hard for me to believe and get down with the idea that you just let go of a Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive players in the NFL, one of the best guys on your team, one of the most, I would say, selfless guys on the team, because he could have made an issue when you didn't pay him first and re-up him first, because he was clearly deserved at that time, right? And you've been having this conversation for 2-3 years now. Man. So I just sit here and I say, what is the real reason Jerry Jones does things the way he does? Because it's not that he didn't want to deal with the agent.
It's incompetence. I don't know what other word, and I know you guys are probably sick and tired.
In what sense do you think?
Incompetence as a football man and an owner of a franchise, and understanding you have arguably the best defensive player in the NFL, and you just traded him because you didn't want to talk to his agent. You're either stupid, he's not. You don't get to be where Jerry Jones is and be stupid.
Right.
You're arrogant. You are stubborn and obstinate.
Certainly.
And you are incompetent as a professional football executive. That's the only word I've ever been able to come up with, because I don't think Jerry Jones is unintelligent. But what is it about Jerry that time and again, whether it's Micah, whether it's CeeDee Lamb, whether it's Dak Prescott, pick your poison. You invest in guys like Leighton Vander Esch, who turn around and put a thumb in your ass with injuries, but you won't pay Micah Parsons.
And I'm a vampire feeding off mass disappointment.
You invested in Leighton Vander Esch, but you won't invest in Micah Parsons, or you wanted to, but you didn't want to do it talking to his agent. And I just don't. Yes. I'd like to thank Jared for being incompetent. Otherwise, we'd be stuck pretending anyone actually cares about Nebraska and Cincinnati. God damn it, yes.
Okay.
I actually do care about Nebraska.
Yeah, that's a little rough to say nobody cares about Nebraska and Cincinnati. I would completely agree with you, Gabe, if you said stuck, pretending like anybody cared about Scott Satterfield in the Natty. Yeah, I don't care about that program, with all due respect. Yeah. I care about Nebraska and what they're doing.
Bryce Martin, like I said a few weeks ago, this was all a scumbag move from Jerry to corner Micah and hold negotiations while intentionally cutting out the middleman. But
that doesn't exist.
I just don't know why you do that.
Cutting out the middleman.
But I hope people understand the way this works in the NFL. And Saquon was a great example of this on Hard Knocks, right? The GM and the player do not speak, because they need to have a rock solid relationship. And one of the things that is a hallmark of the best football executives is it's not personal between you and the player. Is it personal between you and Mulugeta? Oh, damn right. Between you and Rosenhaus, between you and Scott Boras in baseball? You're damn right it is. Does that mean you need to alienate and destroy your relationship with the player so he's sleeping on an equipment box during a preseason game? No, it does not. And while nothing excuses Micah's behavior in that moment, damn it, it's just come to a point where you can no longer look past the old man and his senility when it comes to trading the best defensive player, in my opinion, one of the best defensive players in the entire National Football League, and you gave him away. Now, granted, you got 2 ones and supposedly a very high player. That's great. But none of the 3 of the people that you're going to get out of this, and likely you can combine them, they will not be as good as Micah Parsons. That's the bottom line here. There's no way to excuse this. And if you're the Detroit Lions, if you're the LA Rams, think about the other teams, the Buffalo Bills that were a good fit for this. Like, it's incredible. And if I just look at how this move, I'm not going to say transforms the Packers. Jordan Love is going to transform or not the Packers. Micah Parsons takes the pressure off of Jordan Love. He takes the pressure off of that secondary. And in my opinion, if you're a contender, that division now is I think the Packers and the Lions. I with all due respect to my beloved, we're not competing for that division this year. We're not with Micah Parsons in Green Bay. And I look at the rest of the NFC. How do you trade Micah Parsons in the conference? Help me understand that. How on earth do you trade Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers when you know that that's an organization who wants to win a Super Bowl every year, and maybe that's what your aspiration is, and you just made that road much more difficult by trading him in the conference? I don't know. That's one of the things that I just do not understand in any way, shape, or form about how this whole thing will go down.
Mm-hmm.
I will never understand it.
Well, I think what we do know is that we'll hear from Jerry on it. You know, Jerry will come out with some story or some narrative, or, you know, he'll spin this into, hey, I did Micah a favor or whatever. Like, we'll never know the true, the true reason. But that's, you know, that's what I expect. I expect Jerry to try to spin this and try to make himself look good. And the thing that bothers me is just that, you know, again, I agree with what Micah said in the letter. He deserves it. This is not one of those guys that you try to stiff, right? I mean, this is the classic Michael Clayton moment, right? Like, don't you know who I am? Like, I'm not the guy you try to kill. I'm the guy you try to pay off. Like, this is Micah Parsons, a Hall of Famer, best player on your defense and arguably on the team. You know, all due respect to Dak. So I don't know what it's going to take for Jerry Jones to ever, you know, turn around, right? Or ever like run this thing in a reasonable, you know, like reasonable way, logical way. Because I'm, you know, as much as I think he's after the attention, at some point, don't you get tired of losing? I mean, you would think at some point with the investment in this team, you would get tired of losing at some point.
Yeah. And you know what the biggest problem here is? That Micah Parsons is going to cover up for what is the single worst unit on the Green Bay Packers, right? You look at the offense, their offensive line is fine. Matthew Golden's I think he's going to be the rookie of the year. I think he's going to be a breakout candidate. I think Josh Jacobs is really strong. Like, I mean, I look at some of the moves they made in the draft, like, great. Their single biggest weakness was corner. So you go and get one of the most disruptive players in the NFL. And I think this is an incredibly good move for the Green Bay Packers. And I look at this division, and again, I go back to Detroit, and I'll just keep telling you guys, there's a lot of unknowns about this Detroit Lions football team. And their biggest weakness, in my opinion, is depth at the edge. They do not have depth. I mean, what do you do with the spot where Zadarius Smith was, right? Like, I look at this and I say to myself, yes, the Aiden Hutchinson injury really made a negative impact on their pass rush. How could it not?
Mm-hmm.
But you never replace that. And I think when you look at the fact that they led the NFL, PFF, Pro Football Focus, had them as the #1 pass rush until Hutch got hurt. And now you look at this, they produce the 4th worst pass rush grade in the NFL after his injury, and Zadarius Smith is not even on the team anymore, and he was your top pass rusher after the Hutchinson injury. So I think you have some real questions on this defense, and there's a lot of people guessing or wondering about the secondary in Detroit as well, because they all season long continued to be prone to give up big plays. We're going to find out, because I think that Packer offense versus that Detroit defense, that's going to be the storyline of the NFC North all season long now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to get Hutchinson to get back. You got to make sure that he is the guy he won't be the same guy he was. You don't break your leg like that and inside of 18 months be the same human being.
Yeah, that's tough.
And exactly. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
He probably will not be, because I think PFF had him rated at a 95.5. He ain't going to be that guy this year. He is not going to be that guy. But if you can get him into the high 80s, low 90s for a pass rush grade, that's more than enough, because his 95.5 is better than just about anybody else in the league.
I would agree with that. Except
Micah Parsons. And I think now you add Micah Parsons, and my God, this is a huge, huge moment. I think it is a huge moment. Dana Marie says, love the shirts, guys. Looking good. Yeah. I'm surprised nobody's commented on the pink polo today. I've got the pink Hawaiian polo. Got on the scale today. I've lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks officially now.
Yes.
Like, we're moving in the right direction. The body fat's coming down.
Nice.
Wasikowski, Brad Holmes is screwing it up already. You're already off the Brad Holmes bandwagon. Are you serious? How long has he even been there? I mean, he's fine. You're really come on, man.
What is he? Are you saying he's messing this up because he didn't get Micah, or what are you saying?
I think he's done a really good job. I mean, I understand that and they're getting too big for his britches after the Stafford trade. That was 3 years ago now. Come on, man. I think this was, by any definition, this was a very expensive trade.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So I don't know that I would be saying that the Lions in their front office and Brad Holmes is screwing it up. I agree. You should have added another pass rusher. Did Zadarius sign with anybody? Like, I mean, I don't know that I would say he's screwing it up.
I think that's a little harsh, bro.
Yeah. I don't think that I would, I don't, my guess is that they will bring him back, and he is still a free agent. I shouldn't say that. I don't even know if they're talking, but my guess is they will bring him back. He's a perfect fit for what they do. And you need depth there. That's in my opinion.
Yesterday, Brad Holmes said they hadn't had any talks with him recently.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Well, see, there you go. That's why I should shut my face, right? That's too bad, because I think that's a big deal. I think that is a very big deal. And, Wasikowski, explain that scenario. What do you mean?
No, it's sentiment.
Sentiment. I'm sorry. I said scenario. Fuchsia is the color. See, Mrs. Monty and I had a conversation today before I left the crib. I said, this is more, I feel like the right way to call it. It's not pink. It's too hot to be pink. I was like, I feel like it's a violet pink. She's like, no, it's fuchsia.
Okay.
Where's the black shirt? I'm trying to diversify a little bit, because people.
Yeah, the funeral attire is still in the closet.
I have and I've taken to buttoning up my polo shirts.
See?
But you guys may or may not know. Like, I have a black T-shirt on. Should I leave it unbuttoned or button it? Probably leave it. Either way. Okay, that's fine. Micah Parsons 24 sack total plus Caleb Williams sack total equals Caleb Williams sacked 80 times in 2025. No, he's just sacked 80 times in the Lions game. Or, excuse me, the Packer game. Ooh, Freudian slip. Bubblegum pink. Okay. Waz says he's afraid to pull the trigger. Missed out on Hendrickson failed on Garrett. I don't think that they were going to trade Hendrickson because Hendrickson, I don't think wanted to be traded. I truly don't believe that in any normal world that he wanted to be traded. I think he wanted to, I think he wanted a new deal. I do not believe that he wanted to be straight up traded out of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Because that deal never got close. So, I mean, these deals are not easily done. They really are not. Monty is diversifying his wardrobio. I'm trying. Diversifying shirts brings out diversifying bots. Not NFL, but NCAA this time.
Well, you guys asked for him yesterday. Today. You asked for him yesterday. Oh, where are all the bots, Monty? Well, here they are.
Here they are. Cowboys at Eagles spank. Thank you, sir. May I have another spank? Well, why is yeah. Okay. Very interesting.
Not wrong.
You know. By the way, we miss seeing Mrs. Monty. What's going on? Do you have her locked away somewhere? No, she's a career professional woman.
Like she has a job and stuff. Like, you know, she's kind of important.
Wow, boy, did I get the Packer trade right yesterday. Kenny Clark is the player going back to Dallas and 2 first-round picks. I don't know anything about nothing. I think Holmes has proven that he's not interested in paying big money to bring in outside talent. They've clearly decided to pay big money only to their homegrown talent, and I love it. Well, that's the way you win over a long, protracted amount of time. But what you don't do is win Super Bowls. You win enough, you just don't win the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And it's been proven over time in the National Football League that you have to go and you got to go find the cherry on top, right? And I don't mean at the strip club. You have to go find the Matthew Stafford to your LA Rams, right? You got to go find the Tom Brady to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? You need to go find that complementary piece. And I think a lot of times what happens is when you invest only in your homegrown talent, you wind up in a place where the Patriots were, where the Kansas City Chiefs are. You're paying a bunch of dudes a ton of money, and you're hoping that Xavier Worthy can come through and be a number 1 wide receiver because you traded Reek so you didn't have to pay him. Right? Like you make these switches. It's where the Buffalo Bills are in those hot-ass new uniforms that we'll talk about. But I think at some point you have to find the cherry on top. Now, is that Micah Parsons for the Green Bay Packers? We'll find out if they can cover well enough. Yeah. And if he can hide the moles on the face of that secondary, because if he does, they're gonna win the NFC. They instantly become an NFC contender now. And I don't know that I would have in fact, I know I didn't say that the other day when we talked about it. Rock and Rant, Jimmy Johnson accomplished a ton on the football field without Jerry Jones, but Jerry Jones never accomplished anything in football without Jimmy Johnson. Well, one of the worst owners in sports now. Your boy Jimmy Johnson, I am very lucky. I spent a lot of time with Jimmy back in the day. And the stories are interesting. The Troy Aikman stories are interesting. The Michael Irvin stories are interesting. Like, and I'm not trying to pile on Jerry, but I feel like everything broke perfectly for him to win and have that dynasty in Dallas. Because the way he went in was horrendous. And he went through this arc where they didn't miss on a draft pick during the dynasty years. And it just, Jimmy wanted to do it his way, and for your billions, do it your way, bro. But now it's unquestioned that you're in real trouble here.
Totally.
How many games does the Cowboys drop from with this trade in their over-under? It's got to be a game and a half minimum. I mean, Kenny Clark's no slouch, though. Let's not act like they got nothing in return. They got a haul.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 to 3 games or so.
Game and a half. Game and a half. When you're talking about one player swinging 2 games, I don't think you can say that about one player amongst 106, right? I just don't think you can do that over a 2-game stretch unless it's a quarterback. And as much as I love Micah's game on the field, there are a lot of problems in that Dallas salary cap, a lot. And again, I would point out, CeeDee Lamb has not proven to be a big game performer. Dak is not, in my opinion, got enough weapons around him because they don't have the money to pay. Are you going to pay somebody now? Like, you can't tell me that Jared's just going to sit here on his balls and do nothing. He looks like a jackass today.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a complete and total failure, and he is. But, I mean, I think much to Rock and Rant's points, like, I just feel like they won in spite of, like, Barry Switzer didn't win a Super Bowl. He did. No, he didn't. Right? Like, let's not get carried away about what Jera means to this team and how much Jera was involved. Did he draft guys and cut checks? Sure he did. But I don't think there's anybody in their right mind who's going to be like, oh, Barry Switzer, holy cow.
Right.
What a job he did.
Yeah.
No. To me, and you weren't even boiling in the bag at that point. So, King of Thailand, Jimmy Johnson was on Major's staff when Pitt won the national championship. Okay, very typical way to stay on brand. I like it. The Buffalo Hunter, Jera's dynasty was luck. He's done nothing for 30 years. Totally agree. Hot ass. Hey, doesn't Oak State play today? Not that anybody gives a rat's ass, but
yeah. Why? Yeah.
I think Oak State plays your mom's sewing circle.
Hot ass.
Well, because isn't that where that drops from? Isn't that
because this team is just hot ass.
Yeah, sideline reporter guy.
Yeah.
Calling Oklahoma State hot ass.
I love Jimmy Johnson, but he never won a Super Bowl in Miami. Jerry did with Switzer. But facts. Wass says at some point Brad has to go and get a Parsons or a Clark. Yeah, I think you do. I don't disagree with you, dude. But
that doesn't mean he's done a bad job, bro.
What I think you have to do is, and the trade deadline in the NFL, I think now is more significant than it's ever been. I mean, if you look at some of the deals that have happened in recent years mid-season, we never used to see deals like that in the NFL. I think that's changing. And don't forget, we have another week before the season kicks off. I think a lot could happen. But, I mean, if you're the Bears, Vikings, and Lions, I mean, the Bears are not going to go get crazy and spend money because, frankly, you don't need to. I think you're the Vikings. You're too young. You're not a Super Bowl contender anyway. I would agree with Eric that it's what are the Lions going to do to retort here? Because I think you have to do something. The Dallas salary cap was not the issue. Well, but I think the question is, you can't continue to go year after year after year with zero flexibility on your cap. I mean, at some point, flexibility and the ability to be pliable to address actual team needs has to matter.
Yeah.
And how many guys have you not paid and then paid too late and have crippled your ability to be pliable? I mean, because that's where we are with the Dallas Cowboys at this point.
Man, they've done it multiple times over.
I don't know. I don't know how you look at this cap, right? And we sit here and we say to ourselves, okay, you're paying $32 million in dead cap money this year, right? You're just looking at a situation now where now you have real flexibility, but you're paying Dak $50.5 million. That's his cap number this year. You're paying CeeDee Lamb $15.3 million. You're paying CeeDee Lamb top wide receiver money, and he's not been a top wide receiver, right? So you start looking at guys like Terrence Steele. Okay, at least that's a tackle, right? But tell me this isn't a huge year for Trayvon Diggs. Like, you got to become the dude they paid you $12 million to be. That's the problem. And it's not now, because now you have a little cap space, right? Now you have some room. But you got to find a way to, you got to find a way to what's the right way to say it? You got to find a way to put guys on the field that are going to bring fans back to the stadium. Because if we're just going to sit here and we're going to pretend that, It's the Cowboys. Fans will show up. Dallas Cowboy fans historically sell their tickets and don't show up to games when this team is bad. And I think that's very difficult. And I'm just looking at the numbers, dude. It is not pretty about some of the money that it just is going to be very difficult, in my opinion, for the Dallas Cowboys to compete. They're going to need a pretty significant makeover. And again, we said this when he signed the deal, you probably are going to have to trade Dak Prescott this offseason if that's possible. And I think it's going to be very difficult to do. I think it is going to be very difficult to do. And my God, I just don't know. Like, I look at the Lions because I think that they're the team that is most impacted outside of the Packers and Cowboys. And I just think you're going to have a real tough time trying to figure out how to make this thing go in a lot of different spaces because you have a lot of money tied up. But hey, listen, we can go back and forth. The Buffalo Hunter, Dak is paid to elevate others like Mahomes does, and he's not capable. Well, he is capable of it. But see, what you lack here in context is Patrick Mahomes has a really good offensive line. He has a system that is built for his talent with one of the greatest head coaches in the history of the NFL. And you simply put, do not have that in Dallas. You're on the carousel in Dallas, and you are going to continue to struggle with this. And I just don't know how you say that Dak is not capable of it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty rough, bro. I think that lacks all appreciation for the situation. And, I mean, yes, Dak has some talent on the offensive side, but at the same time, like, it's all about the play calling, all about the situation. We all know that.
Yeah, I just think now when you look at these teams, the Lions are going to have to spend some of that cap space that they have. And I understand that they're a little reticent to do that. And I know that next year is a very difficult year because next year they don't have cap space, but you're going to have to figure out, you have a $279.2 million cap right now. And a lot of beyond isn't it? I think it's, and I should look it up, but I think it's Texans, Bills, Giants, and I can't remember the fourth team are over the cap. The other ones are not. Falcons are the other team. But you need a makeover in Dallas. And the question is who's going to be the fall guy? And inevitably, it is going to be Dak Prescott because it'll never be Jerry. Dallas is America's team when they are winning. They certainly are. Google tells me Oak State spread 25.5. Take Oak State or take Tennessee Martin. Tennessee Martin, you always take the dog when it's that much.
Tennessee Martin to cover.
I don't think there's any doubt. There is no doubt. And look at that. Trayvon Martin, I said Trayvon Martin. Wow. Trayvon Diggs tweeting a broken heart emoji. They do not have to trade Dak next year due to the cap. I never said it was because of the cap. I said it's because you're going to need to make over that roster. And when you're paying a guy, what is Dak Prescott's?
Mike, why are you so are you so perturbed? Like, are you a Cowboys fan or like what am I missing with this?
Do you understand? Here's Dak Prescott's cap numbers over the next 3 years. $50 million this year, 74 next year, 25% of your cap, 68 and 27, and 78 in 28. You are either going to renegotiate that deal or you are going to trade him. And my guess is you will wind up trading him because that number is untenable when you're trying to build a roster. I mean, there's just, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this is the beginning of the fallout, right? The beginning of hey, we did a bunch of bad deals at the wrong time, way late, and now we're dealing with it,
Dude, nobody has ever said they didn't have money to pay him. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're listening to, but you're not hearing what I'm saying because I never said they didn't have the money. I said Jerry has wasted significant money on guys and overpaid them. And it has put him in a situation where if you want to win a Super Bowl, this is not what your cap can look like. You know who's the example of winning a Super Bowl? The San Francisco 49ers had a golden opportunity with Brocktober when he was on a rookie deal, and they couldn't get the job done. Those are you look at Buffalo, you look at Baltimore. Why do you think Baltimore was so reticent to pay Lamar? Because you start looking at what contracts do. The Cowboys are the poster child for bad contract management. There's no doubt you overpaid Dak Prescott. There's no question. Do you understand? Do you guys understand his base salary? I think this year isn't it like $2 million? And he's got a $48 million signing bonus this year because you're already restructuring his deals. Do you like, that's how bad his contract is. And you start looking at the fact that they're going to do that with CeeDee Lamb. They're going to have to do that again with come on, like nobody said they didn't have the money.
Oh, he. Okay, I've deciphered our problem here. He's not saying you said that. He's saying Oak State. James said that.
Well, there you go.
So now we figured it out.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
David Humes. Hello, David Humes. Good to see you. Look at my Dolphins with the stupid Tua deal. My God.
But again, I think this conversation around like paying quarterbacks, like Tua is an interesting case study because I think we could all agree, Tua is a guy that you can say, yeah, I don't know if I want you to be my franchise quarterback. Like left-handed, prone to concussions, don't take care of yourself. Like probably not a guy I want to invest in, But there's a lot of these guys in these organizations where you don't really have a choice. And the issue with Jerry,
I would agree
is that yeah, you want Dak to be your franchise guy, obviously, but why did you wait so long to pay him? Why wait so long and just watch the price keep going up? Like, what was the strategy there? So
I'll never understand it.
Certainly, we're not saying that they don't have the money. The money's not the problem, person. Like the available money in your account's not the issue. The issue is how you're handing this money out and what you're committing to. And I completely agree. They're going to have to restructure that contract because you're not paying a single player on a football team $70+ million a year. That's not happening.
Yeah, it's tough. And I look at the Dolphins when you look at salary cap numbers, and I've talked to a bunch of NFL executives about this. Like Mike Tannenbaum's a really good example of a guy who, when you just look at the shape that a cap is in, and if that team is winning and losing, and when you look at the Miami Dolphins, right? The Dolphins are in purgatory. They're 24th in the NFL in salary cap, right? And you look at teams that have cap space, they've got $5 million in cap space. Okay, well, why is that? Because Tua's cap hit is $39.1 million. Tyreek Hill is $27 million in a cap hit. Jalen Phillips, 13.2. Bradley Chubb, 12.3. What do all four of those guys have in common? They have missed significant time. You are paying, what is that? Like 37% of your salary cap not to play games. Do you know any team that can write off 37% of the salary cap and be competitive? I mean, that is flipping wild. And then you realize who's the backup quarterback in Miami. Anybody? Bueller? Zach Wilson. Like you're in a really bad spot. And so anyway, my point is with the Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys continue to make really bad decisions. And you again look at where they are now and what their cap looks like. And you start understanding now, I think after this trade, and I would have to do the math if you take Micah's deal off of there, I think it gives them something like $40 million, right, in cap space. But the problem is when you get to 2026, that number starts going down, and 2027, you have a just, I mean, you need to trade or rework Dak's contract so that you can bring in significant depth. That's let's just not belabor the point.
Yeah.
I think that's where you are, in my opinion. They cannot trade Dak without his permission. He has a no trade, but I don't think he would even hesitate. The biggest issue is going to be, will a team take that deal? And it's going to be tough to do that, because when you start looking at his money and his numbers, and as I said, I mean, his cash this year is $48 million, dude. Like, god damn,
getting paid,
right? Like, and do you guys understand that he's made? I think I saw on ESPN he's made like almost $300 million. The Dallas Cowboys have paid Dak Prescott $300 million. And gotten what? Right? As much as I think he's a fantastic thrower of the football, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know what you do with that deal, right? And yeah, he has a, what you have to understand is he's got a full no trade and a full no tag. So it is, teams want that. What they don't want is $48 million a year in cash. And this last year and this year, it's an all cash deal because his base salary is like $2 million. So my point is, I think you're going to have to find a way to.
What kind of deal is that? Like,
well, because it was a terrible contract to begin with. It just never made sense. And what was it? A 4-year, $240 million deal? Something like that. I mean, $80 million signing bonus, $231 million guaranteed at signing. Okay. Like,
yeah,
that's fine. $50 million in dead cap. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain and understand the strategy or the logic behind it all. You know, I mean, you can get lost in the cap. You can look at all the numbers and you can be like, oh, why'd they do X, Y, and Z? But the reality is, however you want to spin it, man, the facts of the case is that you can't pay everybody. And you mess this up to the point where now you've traded Micah to an NFC, at a minimum, an NFC contender, and a lot of years, a team that will knock you out, just like they did recently. And now we're going to get to see you match up with them, and, Micah's going to have his day. So, nice job, Jera.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks go back to the Dallas Cowboys in the deal. I think it is absolutely a huge win for the Green Bay Packers, and I think it is a demoralizing kick in the balls for the Dallas sports fan again. Because you've lost Luka, and now you've lost Micah. And it's guys that you revere. And I think it's really, really tough to let that sink in. And I think, yes, it's getting tougher and tougher in Dallas to get on board with Cowboys, letting guys like DeMarcus Lawrence, who was a wildly popular player, right? Like, Jerry at some point is going to have to move, I don't know. We'll see. Just like last year, they have triggers in his contract that they can reduce the cap without even renegotiating. Team push the cap forward. Some are just better at it, like the Eagles. Yeah, and I think when you look at, when I say Dak, the first year they can really get out of that deal is 2029. And I'm doing quick math in my head where your cap is less than $50 million. Like, because I think next year he's even $129 million in dead cap. Like, it's just a really tough thing to do. So yeah, there's that. And oh, by the way, we have college football. Bossa State, and I got the Boise game on. Do they miss Ashton Genty? Okay, you're an asshole. Of course they do. Right? Like, of course they do.
Early returns are controversial. They miss Ashton Genty.
But I'm watching this, and I am telling you, I don't know how this team will compete on a regular basis this year. Because just early in this, I mean, Maddox Madsen is 6 of 9 for 27 yards.
Man, wow. Really lighting it up.
And Malik Sherrod is we'll see, 4 carries, 15 yards. That's a 3.8 yard average. And that's not good. That's not good. And the Cubs just got swept. Fucking A. Yeah, I should just turn off the multi-panel, and I'm telling you,
Just put it on the Boise State game. Don't watch the Cubs.
Team is enough that I need a nail gun, and I need some like high velocity roofing nails, and just put them through the bag, dude. Like, because that's what Cubs baseball in this series has been. The Giants are one of the worst teams in the National League right now, and did not even get close to winning a game.
And as you can see, there's not much hope for you left.
I am amazed by it. I am absolutely amazed by it. And the Cubs are bad. The Cubs are really bad, and
sucks, man.
They're so bad
Terrible.
that YouTube TV just signed me out of my account. Like, what the hell? What in the flip jackwagon happened here?
Yeah, are you guys watching the Boise game? It's been less than scintillating, and I feel like the 25th, ranking them 25 in the preseason poll might have been a little generous, based on what we're seeing here.
I'm sorry, did you say might have been a little generous?
I mean, I don't want to send Boise State fan over the edge and get all the emojis in the chat and flag burning and all this. Like, you guys aren't very good this year. Like, clearly, you're not the same team.
Yeah, so, I don't disagree with that. Jake, how important do you think this? Let's get into this Nebraska game, because I think it is. I think it's huge. Mm-hmm. How important do you think this Nebraska game is?
Well, I mean, I think it's a big deal for both sides. I mean, honestly, I look at it and I say, hello. I look at it and I say, firstly, just like I said earlier in the show, I think Matt Rhule needs to get off to a quick start this year. I mean, you have a guy who was good at Baylor, awful in Carolina in the NFL, and has now come back to the college game and was supposed to be this great addition for Nebraska, but it just hasn't quite panned yet. And I think that's what people are holding on to with Matt Rhule is this belief that, hey, it hasn't worked out quite yet, but it is going to work out, and the program is moving in the right direction. And I think this conversation, about Dylan Raiola is definitely pertinent, and it's definitely, it's definitely a situation where he needs to show that he's improved. I mean, this is the same conversation and same talking point that I have with Avery Johnson, right? Like, Avery Johnson, as I said, at some point needs to become a guy that can read a defense and throw the football. And Dylan Raiola is a little bit the opposite of that. Dylan Raiola's got a solid arm. He's a big body quarterback who holds the football too long and needs to learn the balance of running versus, staying in the pocket and going through the progression. And specifically against man coverage last year, it was a massive struggle for him. And, you get off to a quick start last year and you absolutely fall on your face in the back half of the year, and you end the season with a bad taste in your mouth. And so for Nebraska, yeah, getting off to a fast start is going to be important. But I also think on the other side of the football with Cincinnati, you've got Scott Satterfield all offseason talking about how, this is the best team they've had since he's been there. And, they're in a really good spot, and they had a good portal, and like, he really likes their talent. And obviously, what else is he going to say? But if you're going to sit here and tell me like you've got the best roster you've had, and like you expect to do, to have a better season, I expect you to at least be competitive in this game. I mean, I would agree. It's, asking a lot to go to Gayha Field in Kansas City and get this job done, but at least be competitive. This cannot be a blowout if you're Cincinnati.
No, and I don't necessarily believe that it will be a blowout. I think the biggest issue that I have, number one, is do you guys understand how frustrating it is that when you have a TV and you have $1 million Ferrari TV set up, that the stupid TV logs you out and now you can't log back in? Because I had it, you know how the TV, like YouTube TV, has that multiple panel view thing?
Multi-view.
Yeah, multi-view. Yeah, it totally logged me out of that. And it's like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? and it just won't.
Time to get the old iPad fired up.
It's so frustrating. It is so difficult to watch TV anymore. It is just so incredibly difficult you just want to watch a flipping football game on your studio TV that's been logged into YouTube TV for years. Like this TV, you guys, I hope you understand, has been logged into YouTube TV for years and years. And it just won't do it. And it is incredibly frustrating to me. But anyway, I am very curious to see how, like, you look at this Boise game right now, man, and I'm telling you that it is really incredible that we're sitting in a situation where it looks like Maddox Madsen really benefited from having Ashton Ginty on his football team last year. And I wonder, and I'm probably being too harsh, and I know you all think that I hate Boise State. I promise you I do not hate Boise State. I just don't know what you're going to do if Maddox Madsen is not the guy that you think he is. And I think at some point he's going to have to figure it out, and their schedule certainly will allow him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be at all surprised if he's a B-level quarterback. I think that is without question the single biggest thing that I am concerned about.
Yeah, and I think as a team, I mean, you're obviously, this is the Arizona State conversation that everyone wants to have. Hey, you lose your workhorse running back. What does the quarterback look like? And I think unfortunately for Boise State, there's less depth there and less talent there, and I think that's part of the challenge of being, one of the best G5 teams in the country is that, you're doing great. Like, obviously celebrate the fact that you're putting dudes in the NFL, like you got into the CFP, like, everything's great. But at the same time, you're losing all that talent. Now, it's going to be, 2 seasons back for another good season. And I think that's what's hard. And so, early results in this game is I mean, I don't think, your quarterback has exactly been scintillating. Now, first game of the year, okay, cool, I'll give you that excuse, but overall, like, he's going to have to be a lot better to make up for some of that. And I would say, the same thing with Sam Leavitt at Arizona State. I mean, those are the things I'm going to be looking for.
That's a great comparison
this weekend. Like which, and again, it's with this Nebraska game, to keep it on topic, like, what is Dylan Raiola going to be tonight? Is he going to be the same guy that struggled against man coverage and quite honestly struggled to read the defense and understand what the defense was doing, albeit a young quarterback? Or has Dana Holgorsen gone in there in conjunction with Matt Rhule and put together something for Dylan that helps him, speed up that process and make it more comfortable for him so he can be more productive? Because I think that's honestly what I'm looking for tonight.
Yeah, and here's Dana talking about his quarterback.
There was one thing that you wanted Dylan to improve on in the offseason going into this 2025. What would it be? What was it?
Well, the maturity aspect of it was naturally going to happen year 2. I mean, year 1, what he did from a first year in college perspective was remarkable. There's not many true freshmen that can do what he did, and so then that natural transition of going into year 2, being more comfortable with everything, I see it happening on a day-to-day basis. I knew that was going to take place. He needed to work on his body and his mobility. We're not going to do a whole bunch of run game stuff with him, but I don't worry about Dylan in the pocket because he's a big kid that can bounce off people in there, but he needs to get out of the pocket, extend plays, and keep himself safe. If he's getting chased down and doesn't see people and takes hits and stuff like that, that's not putting him in a good place. So he's worked on his mobility. Does a lot more scrambling, extending plays, and then he's excited about tucking that thing and trying to get what he can get and get down or get out of bounds. So I think just the mobility aspect of it is going to be able to help us offensively.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it until I see Dylan Raiola pick apart a secondary and man coverage, because that's all he's going to get. And I think that's what he's earned. I am a big believer in you deserve what you've earned. And Dylan Raiola has earned zone coverage, has earned man coverage, period. I don't know if you're a defense and you show Dylan Raiola zone, I have no idea what you're thinking, and you should be fired for being stupid. Who are you, Jerry Jones? Like, and I'm being serious. Like, you look at the way that they have struggled, and I'm telling you right now, There's just no excuse to play him in zone. There is absolutely no excuse to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, and I think you look at his numbers. One thing's very clear: when he starts playing better teams, sacks go up. There's no question about it. And I don't mean just like go up, like marginally go up. And again, this is available to everyone. Go look at it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Right? ESPN.com, all stats. You look at what he's done against top 25 opponents, and it's just not great. I mean, the completion percentage is fine at 65%. Like, that's workable. But the thing that stands out is 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I mean, that's just not good enough against quality competition. And that's why I say, like, Dana can sit there and say, yeah, man, what he did as a freshman and as a young guy was remarkable. Well, Dana, with all due respect, bro, like, it really wasn't all that remarkable. Like, quite frankly, I disagree with that. Like, after you played Colorado and after you played the early slate in your schedule, we kind of figured out who you were once you ran into some of those better opponents.
Yes.
And that's what's difficult, is that I feel like Matt Rhule showed us what he's capable of when he was at Baylor, but that just feels like another lifetime at this point. That feels like that was a different, time, than now. Like it might as well not have happened at this point, because you're sitting here trying to figure out, okay, what's it going to take? What's it going to take? Like, you're happy to talk on your podcast. You're happy to do media. And I think Matt's great in that area of his responsibilities as head coach, but now we got to see it on the field. And I'm really concerned that we're not going to see it, that this game tonight is going to be close, that this game tonight is going to not be an easy 10 to 14 point victory for you. That's what I'm concerned about.
And I got to tell you, we're sitting here watching the Boise USF game. Boise's having trouble putting this ball in the end zone at the goal line. And it is execution penalties, false starts. They get stuffed at the line. Now a false start. So now you're 3rd and goal from the 6 instead of 3rd and goal from the 1-inch line. This is a different football team that we're looking at right now. And there's going to be some adjustments. And I probably believe in him too much. I think Madsen's going to figure it out. I would guess, but this is a little shocking as they throw the ball for a touchdown. How about that? A Boise offense throwing the football for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that very often. Johnny Gonzalez, speaking of Levitt, did you see what's going on with former USF coach Jim Levitt? Good Lord. Yeah, some domestic violence theft issues related to his girlfriend and these, I can't remember, was it Gucci or Louis Vuitton bags that he's alleged to have stolen? Maury Alvarez, take the under on BYU game. Kalani is never going to outscore another team by 45 points. Well, and without a quarterback, I would think that would be difficult, right? Very difficult. Bailey Dietrich, hello. Cincinnati will give Nebraska a game until the 4th quarter. Totally agree. Ouch. He always looked like a creeper, but didn't know about any of that. Good grief. Yeah, tough times. Monty is in shock because of the Cubs. Dude, it really pisses me off.
As it should. It's frustrating.
It really pisses me off that the Cubs get swept in San Francisco inexplicably. Like, just bad baseball. That's what happens to the Cubs. So, but am I the only one that is just super stoked that we're talking football?
That's awesome, dude. We finally made it.
We have a game on the TV. We've got Nebraska, Cincinnati tonight. Are you guys excited about this game? I am excited about this football game.
I mean, if we're doing 1 to 10, I would say I'm probably like a 6 to 7 on this game. I'm excited because I think it has a potential to actually be a really good football game. I think people probably aren't giving it a chance because it's Cincinnati. And that just feels like kind of an average opponent. But I actually think there's these week 1, games are always an adventure, man. You never know what you're going to get. It is, in my opinion, week 1 in college football has always been upset special on paper. And I think that, again, this Dylan Raiola conversation, wouldn't be surprised to see a pick or two tonight. Like, don't be
really.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that Dylan Raiola is going to push the pace tonight and try to play. I mean, obviously try to play great football, but to the point where maybe he makes a few throws that he shouldn't early in the game. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just comes out cool as a cucumber. He's chilling. He's good. No problems. But I just don't see him as that guy.
I mean, I think we all expect turnovers. These two teams, a couple of notes that I have on this game, these two teams combined for 39 lost turnovers. And in those games were 3 and 9 in one-score contests. So I think that's a huge question about Dylan Raiola. Is Dylan Raiola better prepared to take care of the football? Because if he is, I think you feel much better about Nebraska's hopes and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is year 3 under Matt Rhule, and historically Matt's been a much better football coach and a much better football team in year 3 of his system, and that's what this year is. But I'm not sold on Raiola. I'm not crushing the kid by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. I just don't love the way that he plays the game. He plays the game scared. In a lot of situations, I feel like he plays the game scared. And obviously when you look at, if Dylan Raiola was their biggest problem, this would be a really good football team. That's the other thing I think tonight that worries you. I just don't think that their defense is going to be very good. It may be improved, right? But I mean, you look at their defense. I mean, they took major hits. 8 of 10 of the most valuable players in PFF rankings are no longer on that roster. And that includes, their best linebacker. And I love that they brought in Dane Key from Kentucky, and he's wide receiver. I think him and Raiola, the biggest thing that you'll be watching for tonight is, do Dane Key and Dylan Raiola have chemistry? Because if they do, that offense is going to be amazing. But I'm really interested to see how all this plays out. And, I have a lot more questions about Nebraska's defense and their offense. I think that pretty clearly that's going to be the bigger issue here. But
no doubt.
Boise State, number 25 in the country, 7-0 over South Florida, 1:10 to go in the quarter. It's been a very different Boise offense. We'll keep you updated on that game. One of the bigger stories in college football today, college sports in general, this meeting of the G5s, and we hinted at this story earlier in the week that the G5 has really been having a lot of high-level conversations about what to do going forward. How do you protect the G5 and their interests, especially when it comes to things like the college football playoff and the governance in totality of college football? Currently, the G5 really doesn't have a whole lot of leverage when it comes to in or out of the college football playoff. And I think the question right off the top, before we get into these conversations, should the G5 be part of the college football playoff? Jake, I say no, I don't think that they should be necessary. I don't think that it should be an automatic that they're in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I think absolutely not. I think it's an unfair ask. I think it does a disservice to the players that play at the G5 level. And I say that, and what I mean is, yeah, sure, you may not be, an SEC level football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play great football. And I firmly believe that G5 teams and schools should absolutely not be competing with the power conferences, not only because everyone always wants to point to the financials. The financials are obvious. Everyone knows that G5 schools are not on the same level as power schools. I think that's pretty obvious. But the other things that you have to consider is the nature of the travel in the G5. The everything from where you're staying, to everything you have access to. Like, the experience is different. And some, just like at the power level, some G5 schools do it better than others, right? And I think that the whole experience for the student athlete, I just think is not at a place where you can sit here and be like, yeah, G5 should be competing in the same college football playoff as the power opponents, because that's just unrealistic.
I think if I am the G5, I am, and I've told you, my sources in television have repeatedly told me there is an appetite for a G5 playoff in television. They would absolutely be able to get a deal. And I think one of the things that I have heard routinely is that the reason that a merger between the Pac-12 and the Mountain West made so much sense was because there was more TV money there than splitting the baby and each one of them getting smaller deals. I think that's the biggest conversation out of all of this. And Ross Dellinger touched on this. So again, the national media stole my story, you pricks.
Again.
But that is that I think there is a realistic path forward for the G5 to form their own thing, right? To form their own playoff, to have their own TV deal that is outside of anything that the A4 are doing and outside of the college football playoff. And I think that there is a way to mesh those two together, because I'm a passionate believer that if you're the G5, you do not belong and you have not earned the right to have an auto bid into the college football playoff. We've seen this repeat year after year, and I know everybody, Statue of Liberty, Boise State, Marty. Totally get it. There are one-off examples of G5 teams competing at a very high level, but across the board, that does not exist. And when you look at the overwhelming majority of examples, and I'll include SMU last year in this, they cannot compete with just the mediocre mid-level P4 programs. And when you look at the playoff last year, what happened to Epstein University? They got into the playoff and they rolled SMU and they rolled Boise State, and then they got boot-heeled by Notre Dame.
Right.
Because Pedo State is a mid-level P4 football team. And last year, we'll see what they are this year, but last year, there's no doubt the pedophiles in Happy Ending Valley did not belong amongst the upper echelon of the college football playoff, and we saw that. And so we go into this conversation about how Boise State, with one of the historically good running backs in college football history, could not beat a mid-tier P4 program. And I think everybody wants to say, oh, yeah, let them play the game, Monty. Let the little guys in. Who doesn't like Cinderella?
Put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Cinderella's fine in the NCAA tournament. I want big boy football when it's January and we're trying to decide the best team in college football. There's not a G5 team in this country that can lay a claim to being the best team in college football.
Yeah.
None of them. And I understand that the Memphises of the world and the Boises of the world, and there are G5 programs that aspire to play at that level, UNLV. Your aspirations are different than your realities. That is just what it is. And I think when you look at this situation, I do believe, Jake, that the smartest way forward is for the G5 to create their own postseason and really begin moving away from the A4 model.
Yeah, I think that it just, I feel like there's this stigma, this sort of stench around saying, hey, yeah, the G5, like you said, right, hasn't earned it, isn't talented enough. Like, it's just not, you're not playing the same caliber of football as the P4. And I just don't think that that's a controversial, a-hole thing to say. I don't think I'm being a red ass by saying, yeah, this G6 team or G5 team, San Diego State or whoever, shouldn't be competing in the same tournament as Alabama or Ohio State or whoever. And that's where I think we're headed as far as leadership in college football is concerned. Actual people in the room making these decisions have began to accept that fact. And I do feel like this Pac-12 Mountain West non-merger, going down that path has really facilitated and accelerated the idea that, yeah, you guys are going to need your own model if you're going to keep, fiddling around with all these different situations, because you're just holding yourself back at this point. Yeah. And everything does feel small. It does feel kind of irrelevant to the national conversation. And that's why I say, at some point, we just have to get comfortable saying, yeah, dude, let the G5 have their own playoff. And if you're just so hell-bent on being able to compete for a national championship, then the absolute furthest I'd be willing to take it is the champion of the G5 gets a spot in in the CFP. I would only be willing to do that. You have to win the entire tournament, and you got to figure out the scheduling to make it work out with the CFP in the bigger picture, because obviously that would mean you'd have to get your stuff done earlier. So if you want to do that, that's fine.
And I think this is a new reality for the Pac-12. And I know as much as Pac-12 fan wants to say, hey, we're a power conference, and that's simply not the reality. And again, I go back to your aspirations versus your reality. And the aspirations are the Pac-12, rightly so, aspires to be a P4 conference. Their reality is not that of a P4 conference. You have not been able to put together a significant television deal. And again, I'm going to say what I said yesterday, and every time we talk about this, I believe that there is messaging in networks refusing to do business at a higher level with conferences like the Pac-12. You're not going to dictate to networks. The networks dictate to you, because you are only worth what somebody's willing to pay you. And at this point in time, there is not a conglomerate of television networks willing to pay the Pac-4 P4 money. That's not the reality. So I believe that you need to get the very best of the G5 on national television every week as often as possible. And I think you do that by pulling your resources into one pot. And I think that's exactly what you should be doing. And I just don't see any way that the G5 can compete, because as I reported exclusively yesterday, new entity / Super League conversations are happening right now. Private money is leaning heavy on the leadership of college football to get a new entity done, because they want to invest their money in the highest levels of college football. And right now, that does not seem to be, at least the big boys, where the big boys in private equity are not putting their money in the G5. I think it is vital for the G5's long-term viability that the P4 get a new entity done and in place and financed, so that the G5 can move on with their business.
Absolutely. And I think, the conversation of, because a lot of people say, oh, well, why do you want to, shut the door? Why do you want to, shrink college football? Why do you want to, limit college football? And I think the answer to that is really simple. The reason that that this needs to take place, that there needs to be two separate systems, is not because everyone wants to shut the door on the G5, but the reality is you haven't earned the right to play with these guys, and you also haven't done what you needed to do to be financially viable on your own. So like, you're in this rock and a hard place situation.
Update in Tampa. You should cover your eyes if you're a Boise fan. Oh boy, it's coming back on a penalty. Oh wow. Byron Brown just ran all over Boise State, and it's coming back on a penalty. Ay vey, that is brutal. And oh, is that a terrible fucking call? Oh my God. Boise just got majorly bailed out from a sensational Byron Brown run. Oh man, I do not think that is a penalty. Oh, they got the center best for South Florida for holding. Oh, I hate that. Oh man, do I hate that penalty. USF is in this game, and historically USF is a terrible come from behind football team, but they're in this game 7-0, 13 minutes to go in the first half. Boise State is up on USF, who's now got a third down, a pretty big third down to answer Boise State's touchdown drive. But, oh, man, do I hate that. Man, do I hate that call. Anyway, dude that abides, a G5 coach leading the team to the playoffs as a career changer. Could be. And there's nothing that says with today's, transfer portal world, there's nothing that says that a G5 and its best players won't consistently be a feeder system for the power conferences. I don't think there's any doubt that is the reality the G5 lives in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to continuously lose your best talent, well, you damn well be better making money doing it. Right. And I don't know that you can fix that. I really don't know that you can fix that. King of Thailand, Pac-2 thought they had a seat back at the P5 table. I don't think that was it. I think they thought they had a path back, and that never materialized. Yeah. That's just not the reality. And I should make it clear that as we've reported on this show, the Pac-12 has been and is operating as a G5 conference. And they are in these meetings that had taken place. And I told you that there were, according to my sources, there have been high-level conversations amongst the leadership of these conferences, including the Mountain West and the Pac-12, about the right direction for the group of 5 conferences to take. And I think the Pac-12 is a big part of that. David Humes, I actually love the idea of a G5 playoff would invigorate the fan interest in programs like UNLV. Whatever this grudge with UNLV is amongst a fan base, the Pac-12 has got to stop putting out hit pieces on UNLV. This is so much in their playbook. And I think it is incredibly disingenuous. It's a bad look for the Pac-12 to continue to attack UNLV like this. And Asshat in the Great Northwest, nobody cares what he has to say. And I understand that he's just a small fry in a very large media pond. But they continue to use him to put hit pieces out on people. And I think he loves it because it makes him feel relevant. He's completely wrong about the situation at UNLV. Yeah. And I am going to continue to tell you that UNLV, under no circumstances, regrets not going to the Pac-12. That is just not the case. Not the case. And I have asked everybody involved in that situation if that is true. And every source I've spoken to says UNLV is thrilled with where they are. They're thrilled with the money that they know they're going to be making. UNLV deserves better than the Pac-12. Yep. And the way that the Pac-12 is acting, in my opinion, is ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's on brand for them, right? I mean, this is hardly surprising. I mean, they've done this many times before. So I just don't think this is anything new.
Yeah. Dude that abides, UNLV, the team that just got beat by the second best team in Idaho. Well, I mean, listen, let's settle down, okay? Dan Mullen's doing his very best job. The biggest complaint, and I said this yesterday, and I was pretty amazed at the comment section and the folks who got on board. The parking is the biggest gripe, right? And no, they did not lose that game to Idaho, by the way, to Idaho State. It was not a beauteous display of defensive football. They did not lose that game. But the single biggest complaint that UNLV fans have about their football program is the fact that they have to pay. I think one guy told me it was like $47 to park at Allegiant Stadium for UNLV football. And I just think you got to take public transportation. The parking sucks.
Yeah.
And I understand it's expensive to park on the strip and it's more expensive to park at the stadium. I would love to see them set up a shuttle. I think that's probably more. The problem is that's revenue out of the pocket of Allegiant Stadium, which is why they're probably not going to do that, because that business relationship that UNLV and Allegiant Stadium has is so vitally important to their program. But I don't know. I don't disagree with that. The Pac-12 was once a Power 5 conference before everyone left for the Big Ten. It was. And it was one of the best football conferences in the country.
Crack everything up. We're out of here.
It absolutely was. Make that third best, probably. My bad. Okay. Yeah, UNLV needs to work on that defense. 2 pants, correct. Boise State 7, USF 3. TJ Beck, having a G5 playoff gives that in entities that want to advertise more eyes to pay the G5. I agree. I think this is the exact right point. It gives the G5 more opportunity. It builds more excitement, and it raises the bar for competition at the G5 level. And that is seriously lacking currently. You need G5 teams to have a pot of gold to aspire to win. And right now, I just don't think there's enough effort, resources. I understand that revenue sharing is crippling at the G5 level. I totally get that. But I think you got to figure it out. And I think this is exactly right. You need a golden spoon to aspire to.
Without a doubt.
Boise State cannot run the football, you guys. This is very interesting to watch. USF is routinely in the backfield and is having a heyday keeping Boise State from running the football. And this is something very serious to watch because Boise State has a lot on the line right now. The Pac-12 has a lot riding on Boise State. And if this is going to become a pass-happy offense, Boise State's going to lose a lot of football games.
Yep.
Because I think Maddox Madison, he's a hell of a competitor. I don't know that he's a quarterback I want running or throwing me to a championship. Not yet in his development. That's something to really watch. Really, can Boise State run the football?
Yeah, and USF is all over it. I mean, they're excited to be pushing on Boise State like this.
Yeah, because Boise State's defense actually looks okay. Up front on the offensive line, Boise State looks like they're getting pushed around quite a bit. And that is, if I'm a Boise State fan, this is something that I would be watching. Is that caught or picked? No, first down. I'm telling you, Maddox Madsen, that ball should have been intercepted too. This is going to be an interesting game to watch. Chad Perling agree with G5 having its own playoff, but the Pac-12 will sue to get in the P4 playoff. The Pac-12 can sue all they want. They have no voice in it. The system is set. It is weighted. The P4 membership has 65% voting weight, and there is nothing you can do about that. So, there is no lawsuit to be filed here. And if the Pac-12 one does not have the assets and resources to sue again, that's not happening.
But would you really put it past them if tomorrow it came out that they were getting involved in something else? I mean,
yes.
Honestly.
Yes, I would. I would be stunned. You can listen at some point, and I know Pac-12 fans got red assery in the comments section last night. I mean, you don't have to believe me. You do not have a lucrative TV deal. And one TV executive said to me this morning, you're asking the wrong question about the Pac-12 TV deal. That's interesting. Okay. I said, tell me what question I should be asking. How much liquidity does the Pac-12 media rights deal provide for each member of the conference? That's the question. And it's a really good point. And it goes back to my point of, hey, it's great that you can we're all getting $50 trillion in this deal.
And okay, we're going to be on nationally, Monty.
That's your gross. What's your net? Because every member of the Pac-12 pays to produce their games. They all chip into a pot. And that money it's not free money. It's not monopoly money. It's at some point, and maybe money in the Pac-12 and Silicon Valley and all that good stuff is just flipping endless. And Boise State can't get a first down. Looks like USF is going to get off the field. Fourth down. Dude, I hate this Boise State offense. I hate it. I hate it a whole lot.
Well, Maddox has been missing a lot too, though. I mean, he's had opportunities.
How Avery Johnson of you. It's not accurate. And that's the issue to your point here, Jake.
Yeah.
I think watching this offense, Maddox Madsen has just not been able to put it on frame. Like, you're high, you're outside, you're making your wide receiver work, and that's giving the DB a chance. You're overthrowing balls thankfully on the boundary, so it's going out of bounds.
Yeah, you could have probably 2 more touchdowns right now. Just have him watching this game while we do the show. Like, he had several opportunities at the end of the first quarter. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's going to have to be a lot better than he is right now if they intend on winning games.
All right, you guys, I'm a terrible YouTuber. Please make sure you hit the like button. We're well over 2,500 views on the show right now, and we have 36 likes because I'm a terrible person. Please hit the like button if you have not. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates. What a day in news. We'll come back and reset the Micah Parsons trade. I want to get into this question about whether or not the Pac-12 can survive. Is the Pac-12, and I'm not even trying to be harsh, or is the Pac-12 a viable financial entity in today's college football world? I think it's a really big question. We'll answer it in 30 seconds.
Injured in an accident? You may be entitled to a bigger settlement, up to 3.5 times bigger. Your initial consultation is 100% free, and we don't get paid unless we win your case. No matter the accident, we are here to help. The advocates will fight for you because you deserve clarity, you deserve justice, you deserve guidance, you deserve an advocate. Contact us today.
The advocates remind you it is Labor Day weekend. The roads can be a scary place. There's a lot more people on the road this weekend. If you happen to get into an accident, make sure you're prepared. The advocates at theadvocates.com are ready, willing, and able to serve you 24/7, 365. Yes, even on a holiday weekend, you can chat with a real live attorney, live online, where you need them, when you need them. No chat bots, no AI. No, a real live attorney at theadvocates.com. And please be careful this weekend, folks. There are a lot of people on the roads traveling for the holiday weekend. Most people are taking a 4-day weekend. So please be careful. But remember, there's also a lot more kids on the street. There's a lot more kids on bicycles and scooters. Let's protect our young people. Please look both ways. Please slow down in neighborhoods. And if you find yourself in a tough spot, get to theadvocates.com. Jake, do you believe the Pac-12 is a financially viable conference?
Right now, I can't definitively say that, and I think that these lawsuits and all of these extracurriculars that you have going on right now are not helping your case, and I think that this TV deal, kind of like you were alluding to, a lot of people are all getting all pissy about it and getting all uppity about it because we said that, hey, like, you didn't release any numbers on it, we don't know how much you're making. And quite frankly, I'm not going to sit here and give you the benefit of the doubt, especially when you've been a conference that has boasted and, talked a bunch of junk about how good you were and everything. And now you're not doing any of that with your TV deal. So the change in narrative and the change in vocal level, if you will, kind of tells me that you're not exactly rolling in cash right now. And I've been saying it for, it's got to be a year at least now on this show, that at some point, this conference has to get private equity involved to supercharge the financials of this conference. At some point, you got to get to a place where money starts to become a positive thing in the business conversation, in the financials of this conference. Because I agree with that question. How liquid does the TV deal make your member institutions is exactly what every conference in collegiate athletics talks about every single day. Hey, what's our TV deal? What other revenue streams do we have coming into this conference? And then what's our cost? Out the door, what is our cost every year? What are we going to ask for our what are we going to ask from our donors every year to kind of patchwork this together? And you just can't tell me that the Pac-12 is sitting here flush with cash in a positive position and saying, yeah, we can absolutely, we can see ourselves going up and to the right over the next 4 years. And we're going to be in just an amazing, you can't factually say that. And I'm still waiting for Teresa Gould to come out and talk about the TV deal that you just got done. I'm tired of paper statements. I'm tired of Twitter graphics and great. You have a graphics person that can use Canva. We get it, dude. We get it. But what I want is I want another interview. I want more media of you guys talking about it. And I don't want that to be Wickerville. I want it to be the commissioner of your conference talking about what you're doing, because it's telling that you haven't spoken since the front office sports interview. And that to me is really, to me, that's a problem, that you haven't said word one since then.
I agree. Phil Venzer, the millions of dollars that went to us and the push to get Allegiant Stadium being built, you're telling me that all those millions, well, okay. UNLV did not cut a check. And I've talked directly. I want to make this very clear, because Phil, you are very angry about UNLV all the fucking time. And I'll never understand it. There was no check cut by UNLV to get this stadium built. It was a joint understanding with the Raiders and UNLV and the Public Stadium Authority that UNLV and the Raiders were both going to use. It's called a joint use agreement. And to the point where there is a $5 million revenue guarantee in place that UNLV is guaranteed to make $5 million. And I believe they've gotten payouts the last 2 years to make sure that they're whole and viable for their use of the stadium for football. The idea, and I have set people in Las Vegas straight on this the last 6 months. UNLV in no way, shape, or form is responsible for Allegiant Stadium getting built. And I have talked to the people at UNLV about this, and they agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Did they play a role in painting a financial picture? Yes. Did they contribute hundreds of millions of dollars? In no way did they do that. In no way did they do that. What I'm telling you is it ideal you have to pay for parking? And UNLV fan, bro, I need you to settle down. Yes, you are paying for parking. Yes, it is expensive. If that is your biggest complaint right now, you need to find something else to pick on, because UNLV should never have and was never going to go to the Pac-12. UNLV has significantly upgraded your game day experience. There is no question about that. And there is also no question about the fact that UNLV is guaranteed $5 million a year in revenue at Allegiant Stadium, to the point where I believe they've gotten, the last couple of years, they've gotten multi-million-dollar payouts to make up the short. There's I believe it was described to me as a waterfall fund that is in place because UNLV cooperated with the building of Allegiant Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just, Phil, I understand you're upset, and I don't even know what you're upset about. But I think you're over your skis a little bit, constantly bitching and moaning about UNLV. Your life does not suck. UNLV is spending significant dollars to try and get the football program consistently at the top of the G5. Wow. Oh, and USF got it back. USF fumbled at the 5-yard line, and it looks like they fell on it, as they are absolutely marching.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll get the old, hey, he never had control of that ball situation.
He absolutely did. Yeah, he did. He caught that. He took 1, 2, 2.5 and a shuffle step, and then got a shoulder pad right on the football and fumbled it. Oh, man, Boise had that ball. Boise had that ball. Holy cow. But Phil, anyway, to wrap up the UNLV, I wish UNLV fans understood they're in a really good spot. Stop complaining about paying for parking. If that's your biggest gripe, take public transportation. We shouldn't have to. And I should be 120 pounds with a huge cock. I'm not. Is that too much? Is that
Stay hard.
Probably too much.
Like heck.
Probably too much. Allegiant Stadium is a golden opportunity for UNLV. Well, what it is a partnership. UNLV certainly pays their money to Allegiant, right? Like, I mean, and I look at their ticket revenue, and yes, they drew $2.6 million in revenue for the 2023 football season. The Rebels did $3.8 million in football revenue during the 2024 season. And their total attendance was 139,747 fans at Allegiant Stadium last season. So you're going through a change, obviously, with Dan Mullen and Mrs. Hansy Mullen coming in. But you're definitely headed in the right description, you know. TJ Beck says not 120 pounds, but hey, the question is, will UNLV be, always be a G6? Well, I don't know that anybody will always be anything. The path, we need to get this right. The path to be going from the G5 or G6 to a P4 is damn near impossible. I don't know what that would require.
You need someone else's help.
You will need somebody else's help. I don't even know what that would be. What you need is a new entity not to be formed. That's what it comes down to. Because if the conference system stays in place, there are exponentially more opportunities. If the Big Ten and the SEC expand and the ACC implodes and your mom's 75, but she's pregnant with triplets, sure, something like that could happen. I don't know why it always goes back to pregnancy. TJ Beck, the Pac-12 may become insolvent if they don't come out on the right side of the lawsuit, and I just don't see it. I don't see it either. And I think
notice it's going all quiet on the Western Front on it.
Very quiet.
Haven't heard word one.
But isn't that the ultimate issue and the ultimate problem with suing people? It's a long, drawn-out process that requires consistent funding of attorneys. And I think it's absolutely brutal. I think it is absolutely brutal. Joey Harper, a member for 23 months.
Okay.
The Pac-12 will be fine if they can the court hijinks and understand that until their football programs get better, their biggest income maker is going to be the basketball programs. I agree with that 100%. Are they reviewing this call?
Yeah, they took it back.
It was ruled an incompletion?
Yes, he did not have control.
I think that's a horrible call. Now, again, obviously I'm doing a talk show and I may be wrong about that, but you really think he didn't have control?
No, because I think it was moving in his hands. It wasn't about the steps. He had caught it, but then he was wrangling it in his hands. Okay. And right before he takes the hit, he's still tucking it. He's still trying to tuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. TJ Beck, the problem in the PAC also is, what do you provide the next private equity? What do you provide the private equities? I think this is a huge question. Without a playoff for the G5, not anything that you don't get already, which is a low bar. I think that's
a really fair point, bro.
Really good point. No doubt. King of Thailand. There will be 15 more schools kicked out of super conferences. If super conferences sit back and watch Sankey has a hard on for 50 or 60 schools. I think it is. This is another thing. I've talked to a bunch of people I know about this. I don't think it ever gets to 70. I still maintain there are P4 schools that don't want to financially invest in the top levels of college football. And I can't put a name on that brand, but because I don't know who it is. But if you look at the bottom half of these conferences, you know who's willing and who's unwilling, right? You look at these universities and you just begin to wonder, wow, and USF is in the end zone. Dude, they're just not going to die. Nope. They're not going to die. They're not going to give up.
One of those dudes over.
Yes, he did. And I'm telling you, Brown's here for the fight. And all of a sudden, USF is up 9-7 with 6:34 to go in the first half over Boise State. Boise State's defense has looked not very good in the last two drives. And this could be a shocking end. Greg Hawkins, Monty, I'm going to drive into a lake swept in San Francisco. I don't know how to explain the Chicago Cubs right now. I don't know. It's pissing me off. I have so many hopes. Greg Hawkins, I have so many hopes that a month from right now, me and Mrs. Marty are going to be planning a trip to Chicago for the wild card series. Those hopes have faded. I need
SuckMyAss.com.
Yeah, I need what do they call those little red pills now on Row.co? Get a boner.
Stay hard.
They all need to take the Row.co pills or whatever.
And girth.
Right?
Oh, Monty, they got to get the torpedo bats going.
I mean, it is the bad at bats that have come back to life in this Giants series. Please. Joey Harper, wasn't it South Florida that gave Alabama all sorts of fits last year? I believe it was.
Yes.
Kay Nurin. BYU and Utah will be in the Super League. 72 teams. I don't think there's any doubt BYU and Utah would be in there. I don't think there's any doubt. NE. Not looking good for the PAC. If this is supposed to be your best football team it's getting whooped by USF. Yeah, it's not a good look. Arlington Bears for $22.21.
Wow.
Bro, we probably need to run back the Talon Cove. I almost came down and played a couple of weeks ago, but I got grounded by my wife, who's oppressive. It never lets me have fun.
That's every day.
But maybe we got to run that back. Guys. Hey, guys. BYU kicks off in 2 days. The Utes suck. Go Cougs, go Bears, go Cubs. Monty, keep the dream alive.
The Utes suck.
And this is what I love about football season, because Chris Karn gets it right here, you guys, right here. He totally gets it. It's okay to hate people in sports. It is not okay to hate in life. The Utes suck. The Cougars suck. The Utes are terrible. The BYU doesn't have a quarterback. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, that's all good. Good to see you, Karn. Hope you and the kids are well.
How's the Traeger?
Mrs. Karn. Yeah, how's the Traeger you won? Just glad Boughton has been so much better in trading Devers. Rafael Devers is locker room toxicity is a real thing. It is.
Yeah, it is. And that locker room has seen some stuff.
Commissioner Gumby, guys. Side, dude. That awkward guy. I'm driving up to Ohio tonight. It's going to be a long one.
Can you tell me what Ohio is, bro? Like, I don't know what that is.
Ohio State.
Ohio? You're driving to Ohio?
Yeah, AHIA, Ohio.
Ohio State. Dude, I'm so stoked for this weekend. Like I said, I'm on honeydew. I'm not even playing golf. I'm not allowed to. Mrs. Monty is, she's got me in the salt mine chained to a sledgehammer. I'm so excited for this weekend. I can't wait. Greg Hawkins. I'm not high on Utah at all this year.
Here we go.
Our quarterback has an equal amount of touchdowns to interceptions, and that was playing against G5 competition with G5 talent on both sides of the football for him. Devin Dampier, I think, is going to be a better than advertised thrower, and he's already a really good runner.
It's my quarterback.
A really good runner. So, Arlington Bears, good to see an old school guy in here. Yeah, where's Big Pontiff? Where's Mayor McCluskey? Like, Tanner Plummer hasn't been here in a minute. He's boycotting the show for whatever reason. Big Daddy Magic is transitioning to Mormon.
Oh, God.
The PAC has decided not to sue anymore. Texas State is in the #1 team in Texas. Oak State James drives a Cadillac. Things that will never happen.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Buddy's not heading into the rectory at the Mormon church anytime soon, dude.
Boys, Oak State's not going to lose tonight, guys, right? I mean,
guys.
I mean, that's not happening.
It really hit me.
Aren't they? They're, man, anyway, focus, Marty. They're playing like UT Martin or whoever tonight. They're not losing, are they? Like, that's not happening. I hope. Rutgers 17-7 over Ohio University. Bowling Green. I don't care. You don't care. Over Lafayette early in the game. And look at this. Boise State. Are we going to have a shootout?
I think we are, dude.
In Tampa? This is amazing. God, it's so good to have football on.
Bad penalty here by USF, though. Roughing the passer.
No, that's never good. That's never good. We'll keep you up to date on all that. But yeah, it's good to see the old heads back in the comments section. That awkward guy, speaking of old head, I have UTSA over an A&M. Ooh. Really? You have UTSA. Do you just stop playing football if you lose that game if you're an A&M?
I mean, this could be the Abilene game for A&M.
Abilene. No, I don't think that's going to happen. At least I don't think so, but I could be wrong. listen, I think this weekend is historically dangerous for certain teams, right? I think we all would agree with that. That this is not, it's not ideal.
No, it's upset special weekend. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Who else? Let's see. OTC Mapes. Bills and Niners rivalry jerseys are fire. Oh, the Niners are the best one by far.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen, what is this? Ice or whatever it's called?
Ice.
Nike released new rivalry uniforms. And I never thought that I would say this out loud. I think it is the Bills and the San Frogs Disco 49ers. And I already think the Bills uniforms are crispy and the 49ers are historically good, but look at this helmet.
Nice.
Dude, it moved a little bit.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh,
bro, look at that uniform. And Fred Warner's a stud.
Yeah.
But look at the script. Look at the numbers, the old 49er numbers with the gold shadow. Oh, like, come on. Look at Joshi and the iced out uniforms. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is really, really good. And these are all, you're going to see these like Niners and Seahawks. I actually think, call me crazy, I hate the Rams uniform.
Oh, dude. Not the sidetrack. The Broncos here have now fumbled and USF has it back.
How do you
Dude.
Can they rent
it's
it?
getting
oh my
nervous
God,
time.
and it's terrible ball protection.
Getting nervous time now.
Oh, it's terrible ball protection. Was this entire team last year Ashton Ginty?
Apparently.
Is that what this team was? We'll keep you up to date on that. 10-7 USF over Wassa State in the second quarter. I don't like this uniform at all. I hate this uniform.
Yeah, that's just, it's missing the heat. It's kind of like, it's try hard.
You know, like I even look at, I actually am quite a fan of the Seahawks uniforms. This one is terrible, this Rams uniform. And then you look at the Seattle Seahawks and their rivalry kit. Look at this guy. I'm waiting for it to load. Oh, I love that load. Then you look at this one. Dude, that's really good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
That's really, really good. And you look at their helmet is like a gloss helmet. Like, I think the Rams were the real losers in this whole thing. The Patriots, the problem with the Patriot uniforms, and I know we have a lot of Patriots fans that listen to this show, so I'm not trying to all of a sudden be a Patriots hater, but let me get this picture of the Patriots uniform. You know what I hate about this? If this is the best one, and I think the 49ers and Mapes and everybody else, I don't know what you guys think about this. I think the 49ers, it might not be close. 49ers, Bills. I like the 49ers a lot.
Yeah, I think the 49ers have the Bills beat slightly.
What do you think of this one? Like, I don't know.
Okay, go back to the Niners one really quick.
Okay.
Is there, I don't know what pants the 49ers are wearing in this. Are they wearing all black?
I think so.
If you're wearing all black, I have a problem with this New England one being white pants, white helmet with blue. Like, I understand this isn't color rush, but like if you're trying to create that sort of, dominant, alternate, you kind of need it to be a one base color. But I have to say, this does have a lot of shades of like a Colts uniform, like very, very
Let's look at, let me get you a close up, because I think you're missing some details here. I'll show this one first, even though it's got a goober like smile to it, which kind of ruins it. Like, look at all the detail. Let me get Mapes' stupid face off the screen. Mapes. This one's got a lot of details in it. And I think I don't hate this as much as I did. It just doesn't slap. Like, it's not like, God damn. Right. And they have some cool lettering and fonts on it. And I actually really like the white helmet. Right. Like, I really like the white helmet. It ain't this.
No, it ain't even close to that.
This is by far better.
But no, in fairness, the 49ers get the luxury of having black in their color.
Yeah. You're right. I hate the Rams. The Cardinal jerseys
are weird.
I don't know what are we doing? Like, this Cardinal jersey that I'm going to put up here, and I am apologizing for doing this on the fly. I know this probably sucks for you as a viewer. Okay, as muted as some of these colors in the Patriots are, as much as I think this sucks,
that's
as much as I think this slaps, what is this?
Yeah, I didn't really understand this.
I mean, get it.
The helmet is clean, like, it's not bad, it's clean, but I didn't really feel like they did a great job displaying the jersey itself. Like, this lighting kind of makes it look like you're going after like an Oregon paint splatter kind of vibe here with the jersey itself. But I'm not too sure that's what they're trying to do. I'm just left being like, yeah, you were trying to do a cool uniform, I guess, but
okay. You know what it is, you guys? This is that stupid. It's really hot in Arizona, and we had a haboob. These were supposed to be white. We left them out in the haboob, so now they're stained like brown yellow, like urine, water,
Look
and
up
dirt.
the
like, this is terrible.
You know what this is? This
terrible.
Is
That's what it is.
The Serpentines D-backs uniform. That's what this is. The D-backs did the same thing with that Serpentines uni.
Can I just ask again? How is it this good in Seattle? How is it this good in San Francisco?
Because it's San Francisco.
How is it this bad in Arizona?
Because they crack too many beers and drive too many Ford Raptors. That's why.
You can't even put the Cardinal logo in the right place on the dome, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, I agree. Josh looks really good. This is crispy. The white ice is really good. The little details in this uniform are really good. This is really, really bad. This is really, really bad.
Yeah, why are we doing cream uniforms? But like what's the deal here?
I don't know. I want to understand.
Oh, my bad. It's not cream, it's sand colored. My bad. Sorry.
It's so bad. Yes, scarlet and cream Cardinals.
Right? Like, what?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, haboob. Exactly right. You know, oh God, Big Daddy Magic. Why do I ever talk about the Bills?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Have you guys still have dead bodies left on the field in Chicago? Can you go pick those up for us, please? Thanks. Say goodbye to Pussy Willows of summer baseball and say hello to the manly men of football. Is college okay?
What are we talking about, bro?
I don't know. I worry about your mental health. Everything about the Patriots suck. Show the Bills, do it for America. Well, I mean, are we fully engorged on the Bills uniforms? Yeah, I think they're pretty nice.
They're incredible.
I think they're pretty nice. I think the iced out thing is pretty cool. But they're not nearly the 49ers have this covered. I also, and I'm not trying to be a jerk and leave out the Dolphins. Let me show you the Dolphins uniform. First of all, it's the Dolphins. Why are we talking about Dolphins and rivalries?
Excellent question.
Tua's probably going to have a concussion never mind. I'm a bad person. I freely admit it. Okay. Again, I think this is the bar in these uniforms. Okay. What do you guys think of this one?
It's nice. Better than Arizona's by a mile.
Well, your mom's,
well, that's not really
your mom's 90 is better. right? Like, what are we even talking about? But I listen, I think this uniform's okay. I'm glad they didn't go with the crazy Miami Vice uniform that was supposedly the thing. I'm glad they didn't do that. But I think I look at some of the Bills uniform is pretty slick. I'm going to say, again, I'm going to stick with my original. I think it's 49ers 1. I think it's Bills 2. And I think it's Seahawks 3.
Yes.
Because I think the Seahawks is really crispy. There are some other details that I can't find pictures of inside this Bills uniform, you guys, that are just so sweet. Like I think there's a Bills Mafia print on the collar in bold red letters that is really sweet. But one of the things, and here's the other picture I want to show you. Look at this angle of the Bills helmet.
Yeah.
Like, that's crispy.
Yeah, see, the stripe on the helmet's nice, dude.
Yeah, and look at the lettering, the silver with the blue shadow. Like, again,
Stay hard.
It moves a little bit.
Yeah.
That slaps. It is not this. I cannot get over the 54. There's just something sexy about that lettering. That's the National Football League right there. That's Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. Right? Like that. I love, this is why I think the Utah Utes football uniforms are so special. That cap on the shoulder with the red stripes, the Nike swoosh, the helmet that is just black and crispy metallic red, like, and then you got to look at this and you're like, did you guys get bored? Were you tired? Right? Like,
did you run out of creative ideas?
What did you run out? Did the paint sprayer break? Like, I'll never understand it. And I say the same thing about the JETS Jets ones, who I know I have completely overlooked them. I've overlooked them because I just
because it's garbage.
I don't love this Jets uniform. And you know what the problem is? You guys remember that dress we all argued over? Is it blue? Is it gold? Is it red? Is it shitty like this Cardinal helmet? What color is that? I don't think it's cool at all. I think it's just I mean, I'm probably being harsh, but
I mean, it's definitely not crispy. That's for sure.
This feels like, you guys remember the show, The American Chopper? You guys remember that show? And they did like the helicopter bike.
Yeah.
That's what this, it just feels like he went, okay, let's go military theme. Because again, even the helmet, I think the helmet makes the uniform. Okay. Again, pimp as hell. Again, pimp as hell. I even love the Patriots boring helmet. Terrible. Don't even look. I like this helmet. I like this helmet. This helmet does absolutely nothing for me. Right? Like, am I being
I think
obtuse?
That helmet is way better again than the Cardinals ones, and I think the pictures do a disjustice on it, like an injustice.
A disjustice.
Yeah, like that on TV is going to look really good for sure. The helmet, the uniform, take it or leave it.
I mean, I don't know, and I'm trying to find like crispy details on this uniform. It's so muted. When your colors are green and gray, I think you're making your life harder. And I look at some of these pictures. The helmet from this side view is way better. Okay. The shoulder cap, though.
What are we doing? Anytime you start doing different colored shoulder caps, we got a problem.
Look at the numbering. It's like that Gothic numbering. This is crispy and classic.
Yeah.
No airplane on the helmet. No, what's the coolest part of this helmet? The Oakley tabs, right? Like,
yeah.
Cool ass helmet. Cool ass helmet. Cool ass helmet. Cool ass helmet. Like, you see the joint that I'm on here. Like, you had an opportunity to be the Jets and be something special, And I just feel like you missed the mark.
And
on
you
all
went
of
full
these.
Jets on it.
And that sucks. But I go and I look at all of these uniforms. Dude, I'm telling you, this Seahawks helmet, it is so good. Like, it is the shoulder pad. It is very, I will agree with the haters who have said it's too much like Oregon. Okay, there's something to that. But I look at some of the crispy shots, and I feel like certain teams got this really right. Nike got this right for certain teams. And then there's
horribly wrong for others.
Yeah, I think you don't need to get away from the brand for it to be special and unique.
It's funny
right?
how the crappy uniforms align with crappy teams and the good ones align with the good ones.
I don't know. Like, now I'm looking at more pictures of this Seahawks helmet, and I'm like, dude, this might be the best helmet of the lot. Okay, right now this one's pretty good. I think this one could be good. This one sucks. Bro.
Yeah, that's nice, dude. Why
Crispy,
is the Seahawks so far
clean.
back, though?
That's what they like in these helmets. And I don't understand. The Patriots aren't, right? The Bills aren't.
Is not.
The Seahawks are. And the Cardinals are.
Yeah.
The Niners are not, but you can't mess with the Niner logo.
Yeah, I mean, the Niner logo is hard to mess up, dude.
That right there. God damn. That, to me, this helmet right here is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. I even think it's so good. It's so good. It's so bad. Right? I don't know. Am I being a Cardinal hater? I'm open to
Probably, but I am too.
The New York Jets uni is straight. You like it?
No.
Really?
Oh, no. He's saying hot ass. That's what he's saying.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, I don't.
See the emojis? See the emojis there?
No, I'm not smart.
Hot
it's just
ass.
boring. There was so much more you could have done here. And I feel like it's muted. By the way, 20 seconds to go in the first half, 10-7 USF. I feel like this is one of those games where Boise could be down 39 points. Probably an exaggeration.
Probably.
20 seconds to go. I feel like this could easily be 21-7 USF.
Agreed. Completely.
I
Yeah.
think that easily. And if you're Boise, you're marching 4th and 10. You need a conversion on 4th and 10. You should not kick this field goal. You should go for this. You're on their 41.5 yard line. Go for it. And they are going for it. This is a huge moment in this game. And they're in disarray. And oh my God, they took a delay of game. Dude, what is Boise doing? What is Boise? Now you're punting.
Garbo football.
I think now this is so bad. This is so bad out of Boise State. This is just not who this team was at any point last year. And if you guys are watching it, am I making too much out of this? I feel like this is just not who this football team was at any point last year. And again, I think Ashton Jeanty was the easy button. Has Maddox Madsen got exposed here?
A little bit, yeah.
I think that's there's a real possibility.
He's probably got 4 or 5 misses in this first half for sure.
Yeah, and then they kick it into the end zone. I don't care who you are, that ball can't go into the end zone. And you're going to take a knee now, but Tyler Stout, card uniform, card also unis are still better than the Jets. I think that might be true. I just don't. It's just not inspiring, Tyler. Right? Like that's
it's nothing special.
And this helmet is just so boring. It honestly, it reminds me of like a Humvee. It reminds me of like a military uniform with a red cage on it. And I agree. Like, okay, there is some coolness in what you talked about, Jake, like that desert vibe uniform.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is. This reminds me of like a knight in shining
I feel
armor.
like they did a really poor job photographing this uniform because I feel like the helmet is not bad. The helmet is pretty good. The uniform itself, though, like you have that other picture where he's like pointing and kind of squatted a little bit.
No,
like you can clearly see that the uniform has green in it, but you can't see it in this
it's
image.
muted.
This looks
it's
black.
muted. Yeah.
And I feel like they did such a poor job photographing this that you can't even really tell what color the uni is.
And I'll show this picture of, and I don't know if there's a better one. It almost, and you guys, my wife thinks I'm colorblind. This looks pink to me. I'm going to be honest with you in this light. Because this black, I have a black shirt on, so it's kind of an interesting, juxtaposition. Does this uniform right here have the least bit of blue in it because of that gray? Like, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't move me at all. It doesn't inspire me. It's not like, honey, take my wallet or I'm going to buy this entire kit. Like, that's not
why
where
did you
I'm
just
at.
do white? Why did you do gray? Like, you should have just done white.
I don't know, because this is unbelievable.
See, and you know the other thing too, like with these other unis, like this is a perfect example. These are all of your normal colors, right? Red and gold for the Niners.
Even
like,
this is their normal color.
Yeah, this is terrible, but this is still their normal colors. The Pats have their normal colors. Like, I don't know. I mean, as garbage as this is, you still got the red, like.
Dude, that helmet.
But look at the lighting. Look at what they did with this. Look at the background lighting. Like, they did a good job showcasing this. And then what do I have?
That looks black to me. This looks, you can see a little more green hue in this, but
you just have these guys standing in front of a gray backdrop. Like, you couldn't have done better than that.
Well, in that gray, I'm telling you, that gray,
like
it really illuminates the gray on the uniform, which totally, I don't know. I'm making too much of. Who are you? Who am I, Pierre Cardin? Did the Jets steal the Raiders theme? It kind of looks like it. So was Genty somehow even better than everyone thought? Yes. Yeah, my guy. That's exactly right. He made a big difference. Exactly right. Exactly right. Big Daddy Magic. Timothy, Florida just doubled back after halftime against Boise State. Okay, playa? Okay. And maybe it's because we haven't done a Big Daddy Magic video. Have you sent me videos
has he been sending you more nude videos or what do we got
here? Not really. Not he doesn't send me videos anymore. Now I'm going to log in and I'm hoping that's the case, but
I don't know, like 18 videos, Monty.
Let's see. Big Daddy Magic.
Timothy,
he did.
Timothy.
Okay, let me turn it up. Okay, hang on.
Hello there, player. It's Big Daddy Magic. I just woke up. I just want you to know I'm going to be at all the Utah football games. I got tickets donated to me, season tickets, and I'm going to a couple BYU games. I will be at the Holy War in Provo, Utah.
Okay.
And I got donated because that's what it is, being Big Daddy Magic.
Uh-huh.
I just got to not be so sensitive. It just hurts like when I was getting autographs out for the hockey team. And somebody said, hey, you're Big Daddy Magic on the Monty Show. Monty hates hockey, he hates Ryan Smith, and you're a drug dealer.
You're a drug dealer now?
So when all the hockey players were doing their thing, I had everybody, hey, can I buy some weed? I don't sell weed. I
you
smoke
sure
weed.
as shit smoke it, though. Right?
Because you think you're going to get weed from me. You're going to be facing attempted murder charges because this is going to be a fight to the near death. Oh, yeah. Hey, player. Keep March 10th free on your calendar. Jordan Clarkson's comeback party.
Let me go ahead and write that down.
Hello there, player.
Let me go ahead and write that down.
Who is Jordan Clarkson?
I don't know. Oh, another video.
Hey, player. It's Wednesday.
Oh, this was yesterday.
The Bills are going to be playing for real. DeMar Hamlin made the 53-man roster. And then a month from now, Victor Wembanyama. Woo! Is
Oh,
going to
God.
be playing.
Told you smoke weed.
So, Josh Allen will be leading the Bills. Victor Wembanyama will be being awesome. Donald Trump's president, Damar Hamlin, made the 53-man
Damar
roster.
Hamlin.
And your buddy, Carmela Harris, itchy crotch herself.
Carmelo Anthony?
She's nowhere to be found. Now, if we can just make Taylor Swift the next Amelia Earhart.
So you want her to die in her airplane?
God bless America and have a great show for America.
So wait a minute. You want Taylor Swift to oh, and then there's this one. Hold on.
Hey, player. I'm at McDonald's. You ever heard of McDonald's?
No, never heard of it.
No,
I got
nope.
5 hot and spicy chickens, and I ordered the ESPN Unlimited app with the bundle thing. It was $43.95, and I got Paramount Plus 2 because the Bills play on CBS a lot.
Lioness, bro.
Cut the cord, and I am ridiculously handsome.
No, you're not.
Oh yeah, I'm fuck John Cena. And I'll have a tribute for James next week.
Oh.
A tribute. This is a labor of love. Bye.
His name is John Cena.
Big Daddy Magic hates when I do that. He absolutely hates when I do that. You know. How much weed do you smoke, dude? Come on. We're just amongst friends.
Nobody's listening.
What, are you the one? Are you the one?
You ought to know. You bought it.
I think Big Daddy Magic is the one who is pissing off Deion Sanders.
Anything about Folsom, about this stadium that surprised you, that you didn't expect?
Yeah. The smell of weed in the second quarter, it surprised the heck out of me. Like every game, I'm like, dang, like it seems like it's like a light up quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, so is this the quarter that y'all chose? Like, I'm serious, it's a TV timeout, it never fails, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? Because I've never been high a day in my life, so that's kind of new to me.
That's a Boulder essential, I guess.
Okay. My guy doesn't like the weed smell in the second. I've never been high a day in my life. Not true. Yeah. Puff, pass with prime.
Yeah, seriously.
5 spicy chicken sandwiches. Dude needs to slow it down after just being in the hospital. That's what I'm saying. Chad Perling, another Big Daddy Magic video. Time for a bathroom break. Don't be hating. Don't be hating. When you walk around smelling like skunk, you can't act all mad when someone thinks you deal the weed.
Well,
the weed. Dude. It's not an official BDM vid if he has his shirt on. I tend to agree with that. JP Reister. Monty got all the football players in the WAC hooked on meth. You know me. Oh, look, it's Oak State James. Toot, without sharing all the details, the implants worked. My life is really good.
Really?
We almost made it a whole day without talking about Oak State James's butthole.
I mean, it's not a Monty program.
Butthole.
We can go now.
Butthole.
Oak State James has
the Colinator 2000.
Oak State James has his own rollers at every Buc-ee's store. He eats so much crappy food that his digestive mechanics were a little thrown off, and he had to have an electrode implanted the natural way through a certain orifice. And we imagine on the show he has a little knob in his hand that he controls it with the, live in the rectory. Just trying to help. BDM is a player. Yes, Chris, he is. BDM on the prowl for some cougar tail. Who's not?
Fucking
Oak State, UT Martin in 12 minutes.
Just UT Martin.
Thanks for the warning.
So,
Okay.
bro, are you going to be here tomorrow if the Mullet loses this game?
Dude, don't. I knew you were going to say that. That's not nice, Jake.
They let you down.
You have to know the spread on this game is, I think I read this morning, it was 26.5.
And go ahead and try me then.
You better have your ducats, and I'm not telling you to bet, even though, whoa. I way undersold the lead on the show today. Do you guys remember we were talking about Carlos Alcaraz, the tennis player?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, let's talk about this.
A certain somebody degenerate gambler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right here, dude.
Put
right
all
here.
his ducats on the U.S. Open last night.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Let me tell
this
you
is
something.
what's known as an all green, bro.
Hey, Monty, let me tell you something in that stupid pink shirt.
All green right here, baby.
I
all
won.
green. It's looking nice.
What I do. Google
looking
me.
nice. Getting papered up so I can go have 5 spicy McChicken Sandos or whatever he was eating.
Google me. I can afford BDM's weed bags now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Now that I live amongst the trees in Eugene, I can afford the weed.
Google me.
I'm going to start my own militia to never mind. The point is, Jake bet on tennis and won.
Yeah, should I shave my head too, or what do you think? I mean, this tennis thing could be a real thing.
This F&A bet on tennis. And he's like, hey, Marty, look what I did here.
Google me.
Like, I'm sound asleep. Right? I'm sound asleep. Right? Fat boy sleeping in this morning. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, boy.
Right? And I'm jolted awake by my phone.
Other
2:05 in the morning and the U.S. Open's just ended. And Jake's like, hey, Chubbs, look who won on the U.S. Open. Carlos Alcantara Leather came through for your boy.
I just want to thank you all.
There's something wrong with you.
I'm just saying.
Deep-seated.
I'm
in
committed.
Places
I'm committed.
We don't talk about, unless it's Oak State James's little vibrator thing. Then we can talk about it. But in places we don't talk about. Jake bet on tennis and won.
Butthole.
Jake bet on tennis and won. I'm not trying to judge nobody. Enjoy the games tonight. We will be back tomorrow with a full preview. Nebraska. Jake, what do you got on Nebraska tonight?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna
Nebraska's
say
minus 6.5.
I'm gonna say 31-21 Nebraska. I think they will cover it. I think that they will pull away in the fourth. It'll be interesting until then.
Win, cover, under. I am win. Cincinnati cover, under. I am terrified. I need Dylan Raiola to step up tonight. Well, I don't need him to. Nebraska does. To hell with it. Win, cover, over. Nebraska wins. As always, the Monty Show presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Enjoy the games tonight. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.